Reading Comprehension 11, iQuanta Video Analysis. The paragraph says many United States companies have unfortunately made a search for legal protection from import competition into a major line of work. So remember, the passage starts with the word unfortunately, which means the author is unhappy about the fact that companies are seeking legal protection from import competition. Why is he unhappy? Well, he says since 1980s, the United States International Trade Commission has received about 280 complaints alleging damage from imports that benefit from subsidies in the foreign government. So he's giving the magnitude of the amount of protection that is being sought. So 280 complaints that are alleging the damage from imports benefiting from subsidies of foreign government. So for example, India gives LPG subsidy. Now today, if I'm using LPG to manufacture something, as LPG is my input cost, and there is a competitor in a foreign country where I am exporting my goods, he has not benefited from any such subsidies. So let's say LPG is at 280 rupees a kg in both the countries, adjusted for the currency differences. It is at the same part, but India then somehow government says that we will provide it to you at 140, which is half the price. Now both of our input costs are different, so if we are both selling at the same profit margins, my selling cost will be lesser than his. So of course I will get to sell more because my price is less than his, and even then I am making the same amount of money. He's not being able to make the same amount of money because I am selling more and his product is facing his business is facing losses, all because of the fact that his government or all because of the fact that my government is helping me create the same goods at a lower price. So that is the first complaint, that we don't want such products to be imported in our market and sold, which are killing our businesses solely because they are not even more efficient in producing them, but because the fact that their government gives them subsidies, which gives them an undue advantage over our production. So that is 280 complaints of that nature. Then it says another 340 complaints charge that foreign companies dumped their products in the United States at less than fair value. What is dumping? Dumping happens when, let's say India produces mangoes, like 10,000 tons of mangoes. Now our maximum consumption is 5,000 tons. Our good exports are 2,000 tons, and we are left with 3,000 tons of excess mangoes that we are in any ways not going to be able to either export or consume ourselves. Then what do? We are going to, it is a perishable item, it is anyways going to go for a waste. Now what we do, we take it to US and we sell it at whatever price we can. Then what happens this is called dumping, when you sell at whatever price you get and at a very lower price, it's called dumping. And dumping is also characterized by excessive production. Like China has excessive manufacturing capacity now. Even if they don't manufacture, they're going to face operational losses. So what they do, they manufacture to the capacity that they have, and then if they have excess manufacturing done, they just dump it, which is what we say in India also, that China dumps its goods. So it has manufactured some for its internal consumption, then it has manufactured, say, for America, Australia, New Zealand, other Southeast Asian countries where it has manufactured good quality goods. In the end, it has some production capacity left, which it doesn't want to go unutilized. So it produces whatever it can and dumps it in the Indian market at whatever prices it wants to, because it was anyways going for waste, and it kills the Indian market because suddenly there is a influx of very cheap goods which are dumped. So these are unfair practices. But the author goes on to say, even when no unfair practices are alleged, the simple claim that an industry has been injured by imports is sufficient grounds to seek relief. So now the author is saying that unfair practices are one ground to seek relief, even if it is not unfair practices. Even if you are just saying that I am not able to fight this competition, it is still fine to seek relief. Then why is he saying that it is unfortunate the companies are seeking relief? Well, it tells in the subsequent paragraphs. It says, contrary to the general impression, this quest for import relief has hurt more companies than it has helped. So that is why he is finding it unfortunate, because it doesn't help, it hurts more. As corporations begin to function globally, they developed an intricate web of marketing, production, and research relationships. Of course, companies are going global. If the production is cheaper in one country, labor is cheaper, they will move their production there. Companies are in the real world moving all the production to China because labor is cheap, infrastructure is available. All the service sector is moving to India because skilled labor is in India. and we dominate when it comes to the IT and financial services sphere. So that kind of functions are moving to India, and then you will see that high level R&D is all moving to is all still remaining in US. So companies are beginning to internationalize, and the complexity of these relationships is such that a system of import relief is done by either putting in duties to the goods that are incoming, or import relief is putting by giving subsidies so that your own domestic companies also remain competitive in the global market. So any sort of import relief laws will meet the strategic needs of all the units under the same parent company is highly unlikely. It is not going to happen. So if you are helping one company, say production in US, then you are most likely hurting its capacity to say export, because if you are putting a duty to help a company's production in US, then the same duty could be hurting so the same duty can be reciprocated by another country in the goods that are being coming out of US. So it will eventually hurt this company, some other unit. So that is what he's saying, that it is hurting more companies that it is helping, and regardless, even if it's not hurting or helping, it is unlikely that it will be able to understand the complexity of the relationships of internationalized organizations and be able to serve the strategic need, which is to protect the company's interests. So it will not be able to do that. Then it further says internationalization increases the danger that foreign companies will use import relief laws against the very companies it was designed to protect. So it is saying that there is high likely, it's warning that such international relief laws that have been put in place are subject to enormous misuse by the companies that it is designed to protect from. It is going to be misused by those very companies. It gives an example on how that can happen. It is an explanation actually of how that could happen with the help of an illustration. It says, suppose there is a US owned company. So let's say there is company 1 owned by US, and it establishes an overseas plant. Plant is foreign, so production is foreign. While its competitor, company 2, makes the same product in United States. So its plant is in US. If the competitor can prove injury from imports, so it's company 1, company 2 complaints about company 1. That company 1 is producing overseas and bringing it into US, while this company is making it US itself. Now it files a complaint against company 1 that company 1 received a subsidy. What does the company says? Receives subsidy from whatever foreign government. So it files a complaint saying that this is receiving a subsidy from a foreign government, and hence their products should face a duty while they are entering the US market. Then this company will find itself uncompetitive now, because it is getting duties on its good. So the duties would make, say, if this was 110 and they were selling it at 120, while they were producing at 130 and selling it at 140, but then there is an additional $20 of duty which makes them, or $30 of duty which makes them sell at 150, they will become uncompetitive. What has happened? Company 2, which may or might not be a US based company, has hurt a US based owned company just because it has a plant overseas by getting a $30 duty imposed, making it uncompetitive. Now the import relief laws within US, set up by the US International Trade Commission, was meant to protect US owned companies against foreign competition, and especially unfair trade practices emerging from foreign owned companies. But what has it done? It has helped maybe a foreign owned company to file a complaint against US owned company and harm a US owned company, which was not intended as a use of this law. Now it gives a more specific example. It says, perhaps the most brazen, marked by contemptuous boldness, case occurred when ITC investigated allegations that a Canadian company were injuring the United States salt industry by dumping rock salt used to de-ice roads. So in US, when the ice is when snowing happens and ice is put on ice accumulates on the road, salt is put on it, because salt basically helps the ice melt and the roads get cleared. So there is a whole industry. So it's saying that a Canadian company was injuring United States salt industry as one of the cases that came to International Trade Commission. Why is it bizarre or most brazen? The bizarre aspect of the complaint was that a foreign conglomerate with United States operation was crying for help against a United States company with foreign operations. So now it is explaining further that the Canadian company that is written here is actually a United States company claiming injury. The United States company claiming injury was actually a Dutch conglomerate. So the company which was the United States salt industry, the company which was saying that this Canadian company is hurting us, was actually a foreign company, a Dutch company, which had a United States based subsidiary, while the Canadian company was actually a subsidiary of a Chicago based firm. So US, Canada, Netherlands. Netherlands has a company, let's call it company A. Company A has a subsidiary in US which produces salt in US. And then there is a company B, which is a US based company, has a subsidiary here in Canada, produces salt, and the salt comes back to US. So one is a Netherlands based company and another is a US owned one is a Netherlands owned company and another is a US owned company, but the subsidiary of this company is actually filing a case against company B, which is a US owned company. So it was a prime example of what it was saying. Just here, if you make this good as salt and make this a Dutch company, and then it becomes the specific example that the author is saying. So this is a general example that he is giving, and one specific case he is given to highlight that this actually happens when a Dutch based company is actually fighting a case against a US owned company, just because of the fact that the import is happening because of the fact that the US owned company has a subsidiary which does its production operations overseas. That is the only difference. But the law, which was meant to protect US companies, US origin companies, is now being misused or being incorrectly used by foreign owned companies to target US based companies. So that is what the author is saying, and that is why he says, unfortunately, this is a growing menace, that legal protection from import competition, because it is mostly being misused or used against the intent of the law. Now the question says, the passage is chiefly concerned with arguing against the increased internationalization of US corporation. It is not arguing against increased internationalization. It is just saying that increased internationalization has made these laws ineffective. So this you can cross out. Warning that application of laws affecting trade frequently has unintended consequences. Yes, and unintended consequences, hurting your own people, hurting more than helping, and not being able to meet the strategic needs of the corporations it was meant to help. So this you can park. Then it says, demonstrating that foreign-based firms receive more subsidies from their governments that United States firm receive from the United States government. Well, there is no comparison that has been made in the paragraph. So you can cross this out. Recommending a uniform method of handling claims from unfair trade practices. There is no recommendation that the author has made about this. All he says is that it is good enough as a reason for people for corporations who are facing unfair trade practices to complain against and seek relief. So B is the correct answer option. Next question says, the passage warns of which of the following dangers? Companies in the United States may receive no protection from imports unless they actively seek protection from import competition. Well, he doesn't say that they don't receive any protection. In fact, they're saying that unfortunately they search for protection, and the laws that they're using are ineffective and have unintended consequences. So that is not the warning. The warning is basically against the misuse, potential misuse. Companies that seek legal protection from import competition may incur legal costs that are far exceeding any possible gain. Very out of scope of the passage. Nowhere was there any mention of the costs associated with seeking legal protection. C says the companies that are not United States owned may seek legal protection from import competition under United States import relief laws. Well, that is one thing that the author says, that a lot of times it is not a United States company that is seeking legal protection and uses the import competition, is seeking the legal protection from import competition. In fact, much at a disadvantage for US owned companies. So this is a potential answer. That is what the author is basically saying. Then last one says companies in United States that import raw materials may have to pay duties on those materials. Well, it does not specifically say that the ones who are importing raw materials will have to pay duties. He's saying that companies would have to pay duties on products, and it is not actually something that he is warning against. He's basically warning against that while duties all are fine, but it should not be that they are at a behest of the companies that are owned by US. So this is not the warning that the author is making. The warning that the author is making is that companies that are not US owned may be seeking legal protection under the United States import relief laws. So C is the correct answer option. Then we have question number 3. The last paragraph performs which of the following functions in the passage? Well, the last paragraph we know, as we know, it gives a very specific example of how this misuse of import protection laws can be done. So it summarizes the discussion thus far. No, it doesn't do that. It presents a recommendation. It doesn't present any recommendation. It discusses an exceptional case in which results expected by the author of the passage were not obtained. Well, no, the author is saying that the result is the fact that there is a misuse of the law. So that is not an exceptional case. The author says that is most generally the case, and that is how it substantiated with one example. So you can cancel this. It cites a specific case that illustrates a problem presented more generally in the previous paragraph. That is what has happened. More generally it was presented here. If you just added some more details and called the company to a Dutch company, then it would have been the example that the author is putting forward. So D is the most appropriate answer option, and also the OA. Lastly, question says it can be inferred from the passage that the author believes which of the following about the complaint mentioned in the last paragraph. The ITC acted unfairly towards the complainant in this investigation. It doesn't anyway tell us what the outcome of that complaint was, so we can't say whether it was unfair or not. The complainant violated the intent of import relief laws. Yes, of course, the intent is to protect US based companies, and it is getting clearly violated. So this could be your potential answer. The response of ITC to the complaint provided suitable relief from, again, we don't know what was the ITC's response, so we can't say that whether it provided suitable relief or not, and whether the complainant in the first place has a case in the spirit of the law itself. Each of the companies involved in the complaint acted in its own interest. Well, no, because only one company was acting, the complainant was acting in its own interest, the other was a defendant and didn't even act, and all the more too far-fetched to infer from what the last passage is. So B is the correct answer option. So I hope that you understood this paragraph. It was fairly a simple one, to be honest, and such paragraphs I would rate them about 1.5 in terms of difficulty when it comes in the CAT examination. Thank you so much for listening.